And away we go here for Xbox Division 3.
Still wheel to wheel coming out of turn 19.
Tries to go down the inside of Desio. Desio giving him space, but not by much.
Oh, and he's oversteered, and he spun. They're side by side, off the track, neck and neck. Hello and welcome to PPR's PC Division 2. We're here in Abu Dhabi for the final round as we're now following along MRL Hanners as he cruises down the back straight into Sector 3 in the Williams. He's secured P2 in the Drivers' Championship, so he will be having a bit of a laid-back race today. Nothing really on the line for him other than some clean racing. BTFU unfortunately not able to make it to the race tonight due to PC issues. He has wrapped up our Drivers' Championship very early here, so unfortunately he won't be able to celebrate here in Abu Dhabi. But alas, Henner's looking for that win with his rival gone as he preps for his outlap now. Cruising up to the line, backing up the field, making sure he has some clean air. Of course, we see Stealth in the background with Henner's teammate Custom also vying for P3. We've got plenty of drivers here today vying for P3. We'll ride on board Henner's now as he crosses the line to start his lap up into 7th gear to the right side now, down to 4th gear, cutting that inside curb, pushing it out wide, keeping it flat through this big high-speed left-right, making sure not to upset the car too much on the curbs. Nice and tidy there. Up into 8th before hard on the brakes, cutting left here, just missing that curb, uses all of the curb here. Through the hairpin now, nice and tidy, back on the throttle as early as possible, using all that ERS as possible, DRS activated. Coming up to the first hard chicane on this back straight section. Hard on the brakes just before the 100-meter board, down to 1st gear to bite in, setting himself up, uses the inside curve a bit there. Coming in 3rd gear now, activating that DRS. Cruising down into Sector 3 now. Pretty clean lap so far from our P2 driver. Get nice and clean in the Williams. Careful not to invalidate here. Very easy spot to cut corners. Does a nice job of keeping it on track in between the white lines. This triple right-hander now. Hard on the brakes not to lock up. Looking so far so good for Henners as he comes around for his first lap of this session. Around the final corner. Comes up to the line. We'll see what time he can set first. He goes P1 with a 35.6. Here comes Stealth as he seems to have spun around the final corner. Not entirely sure what happened there. Custom has decided to pit. Here comes the Ferrari of Ozone Chimera on the mediums. He's at the 37.5. So Stealth, we know, has some decent pace, but unfortunately spun there on the final lap. Got Tiger Racing as well as Racer 33. Skyward Atlas goes P2. Sorry, Racer 33 goes P2. Pipes his teammate off there with a 135.7. 33 vying for that P3 position in the Drivers' Championship. We'll get those standings up for you after this qualifying session so we can see just who is in contention for P3. Skyward Atlas, the other Alfa Romeo, putting in a decent lap time there. Definitely has some room to improve. Race 33 not too far off MRL Henner's pace there. So we have Jeb, of course, on track tonight. Sometimes he'll hop in the commentary booth. He's starting his flying lap now. We'll see what Kermit can put up to the line in the round. He goes P3 with a 36.8. Another driver vying for P3 in the championship, looking to set a solid time there. Here comes Lap God up to the line. P5 with a 37.1. Enough to get him into the top 5 there. Now we have McLaren of Striffium to cross the line. Teammate of our Drivers' Champion. Looking to add to that Constructors' lead. Of course, Striffium still technically in contention for P3 in the Drivers' Championship. He's looking to crack in that top 10. He's currently sitting P11 by just a couple points. So all he needs here today is to pick up a few points and he could see himself on that top 10. He goes P5 with a 37.1. getting up there on the leaderboard. A solid first lap for him. We have Eduardo Andretti coming up to the line as well. He's going to be diving into the pits. And it looks like most of our drivers coming in now from the pits. Mech Senna just hanging out in the pits, has yet to leave and set a flyer. We'll see if anyone else is on a hot lap. Looks like everyone has come in. Race 33 seems to have missed the pit lane. We won't say anything if you don't. Keeps it clean, no one near him, so nice and safe entry there. Here comes Jeb though, he's on a flyer into the final sector here. Just approaching the final couple corners, keeping it on track there, almost losing it. Keeps it together in that racing point. Pushes it wide and comes to the line. We'll see what we can do. P8 with a 140.7, so definitely room for improvement there. We know Ozone Khmer on those mediums in P7. Switch to softs now. We'll see what he can do. Meanwhile, track is awfully quiet as we have most of our drivers in the garage at the moment. Looks like Striffium is on his in-lap. We got Henners coming back out yet again. So we'll follow along with him as he cruises around. Looks like Lapgob is also out on another lap. So far, it's looking like Racer 33 and Henners are in contention for pole. Of course, Custom, Tiger Racing, and Mech Senna have yet to set a lap. So that could be a factor here. They could definitely vie for pole. So you've seen before, Mech Senna with a great outing last time out in Brazil. Getting onto the podium there with a Mercedes 1-2. Romicron winning that race, but not around here today. And of course, we had Only's my dad getting P3, but he, unfortunately, is not here today. He is also one to contend for P3 in the Drivers' Championship. Henner's backing up now. Into the final couple corners before he sets his hot lap. And he's going to go ahead and let Lap God by to get some clean air as he pulls over. Custom's going to cruise on by as well. It looks like he's on a hot lap actually. Comes very deep into that corner. Up to the line he comes. We'll see what he can do. Goes P7 with a 37.5, so Custom setting lap. He's also in contention for P3 as well. There's probably easier to list the number of drivers who aren't in contention for P3 at the moment. As Tiger Racing seems to be setting his first flying lap now. So we have plenty of drivers out and about. Skyward Atlas on a flyer as well. Mech Senna has indeed come out the pits, and he's going to be on a flyer, so we'll watch for him. But in the meantime, Henners is the next one to set a lap time. So we'll see if he can extend that gap. We saw a lot of our D1 runners hop into the 34s, so we'll see if Henners can do that here today. He's got 6/10 to find, which I'm sure he can. He can tie a few more corners together. The key is to evade track limits as much as possible without invalidating. Keeps it nicely on track here, pushes it very wide. Hard on the brakes now, keeps it nice and easy. So far, so good. Up to the final couple corners. Looks like Lapcott has improved to P4 with a 36.8 ahead of him. Nice lap there by him. Comes across the line and goes 35.3, so extends his gap now in P1 by another 4/10. Looks like the Ferrari of Ozan Khmer on the softs goes P3 with a 36.2, another one in contention for P3. As now we have what looks to be McSenna coming up to the line for his first time lap. We'll see what he can put on the board. He goes P3 with a 36 flat. So nice job there by him. Stealth trying to put up a time better than his one. He goes P1 with a 35.0. Nice lap there by Stealth. This is his first race in PPR. Race 33 goes P2 with a 35.2. So we've got some times coming down on the board. Stealth, our reserve driver here, looking to do well on his debut, and so far, so good. Race 33 trying to claw back at his P3 position in the Drivers' Championship. We'll see just how he can do. Kermit chilling in P6 at the moment. So we have Tiger Racing now on a flyer. Still has yet to set a time, as well as Eduardo Andretti. So we'll see if he can get on the board and put something down. We know Tiger has a great job of keeping clean in the race. Eduardo unfortunately gets disqualified from the session for blocking in the pit lane. Looks like he's all by himself there, so I'm not sure what exactly happened, but he is indeed disqualified. Meanwhile, Stealth still on pole by 2/10. We got 5 minutes left in this quality session, so I'm sure drivers will wait till the last minute to come out on track. But here comes Tiger Racing looking to set a time now. The only driver on track yet to have a time on the board. He'll come to the line. We'll see what he can do. He goes P5 with a 36.2, so very nice lap there from Tiger Racing, just edging out his teammate Ozone Camara for that P5 position. Ozone Camara and Tiger Racing very close in the championship as well, both vying for P3. As McSenna hops back into the pits. Looks like most drivers are indeed in the pit now, although Sky and Strifium are on their out laps. So we'll have to watch as drivers come out and start their flying laps for the final time with just over 4 minutes left to go. Plenty of time left. Race 33 looking good so far with that banker lap. Stealth impressive on his debut, filling in for Micron, who may have done just the same and set himself on pole. So Mercedes always dominating here, it seems. But here it comes, Strifium trying to crack back higher into that top 10. Setting another lap now in that McLaren. Around the hairpin, down to first. Nice and tidy with that late apex. DRS engaged as he screams down the first back straight. Hard on the brakes. You can lose and make up so much time in this chicane, depending on your entry and exit. Seems to have a nice little bit of oversteer there, but nice exit overall. Activates that DRS now, coming into sector 3. Gonna be hard on the brakes here. Very awkward braking zone if you get on that outside curb. Keeping it nice and tidy so far though. Pushes it a little wide, able to keep it under control though. He's hauling on this lap. You can see him pushing the car as much as possible. Comes into the double right-hander now. Hard on the brakes. Ooh, bit of oversteer there. He's done a good job to correct it. All these times he's really sliding around. You can see tire temps are probably high now. Comes around the final 2 corners. Ooh, bit of oversteer again, but he keeps it under control. Some solid control of the car here. Comes up to the line. Can he improve? He does not improve, so he'll do a 37.1 and stay P10 at the moment. It looks like Skyward Atlas is coming around again as well, looking to improve on his P9 time. As he comes up to the line, we'll see just exactly what he can do. Comes up to the line, goes P4 with a 35.7, so definitely improves there. Almost joins his teammate on the front row, just a couple positions off now. We'll hop on board now with Lap God, who's the next one on a flyer. Cruising down the back straight. It looks like Stealth and Mech Senna are starting their final flyers as well. Jeb trying to improve on his time, as well as Custom. Red Bull driver going solo with no teammate today. Lap God, of course, a reserve, looking to come full-time at next season for our F1 2020 Season 2. Be sure to stick around for that. We'll be coming back here in July. Comes across the line, goes P8, jumps Kermit, one position with a 36.4, so nice job there from him. Looks like Striffium is cruising back into the pits, so that'll be that for him. We'll see who's next to come across the line. It looks like it could be the Ferraris. No, the Ferraris are cruising on their outlap, but it seems the Mercedes right behind them of Stealth, currently on pole, is on a flyer, looking to improve his time. Cruises in through the final sector. Keeping it nice and tidy here. Hitting those apexes just fine. We have two Ferraris now in front. Could they impede his wrap? They get out the way just in time. They got 40 seconds to cross the line to start their flyers, so we'll see how that pans out. Jeb has retired from the session. Unfortunately, it looks like he's retired there in the beginning of Sector 3. Here comes Stealth as he goes, improves to a 34.7, so massive gap now. Looks like we definitely want to do that. Return to the game as Jeb has retired, so we can't hop on board with him. But it looks like Mech Senna is coming up to the line, has retired from the session. Oh, just as we do that, we love to see his profile. But it looks like Henderson has improved as well. A 35 flat. He will not be going for another one, so that'll be that for him. The Ferrari's still on a flyer, though, as they're cruising down. So Stealth on pole comfortably. Hender's only able to do a 35.0, so he's in P2. 3/10 off of Stealth's pole time. We'll see if these Ferrari drivers can do anything about it. They're in tandem, it seems. Just milliseconds off of each other currently on the timing board. We'll see what Custom can do. He's coming up to the line, though. See if he can improve his time. Up to the line he comes. Goes P6, but Kermit goes P5 with a 35.9, so Kermit edges him out. As Mech Senna will stay P6 now. Custom going P7. We'll go back on board with our Ferrari drivers. We'll see which one of the two can do better, as they're now P8 and P9. Looking to improve here, as all these drivers in our top 10 are looking to battle for P3 at the moment. But here comes Camara and Tiger Racing as they come up to the line. Here comes Tiger. Goes P4 with a nice time there. Camara stays the same in P9. Tiger jumping up all the way to P4 with a 35.6, so great gains there from him. But there you have it, folks, qualifying over. It looks like Hender's surely, yep, is diving into the pits. That'll be his lap done. So there you have it, folks. Tiger Racing able to jump up to P4 there at the end. Stealth, though, is going to be your pole sitter, so nice little debut for him in PPR PC Division 2. Hender's coming in P2, a place we've seen him get many times before. Yeah, folks, now as we'll load up our results screen. So Stealth on pole by a good 2.5 tenths. Hender's coming in P2. Race 33 with a nice start there in P3. He's looking to get those points. He's first out of the third place contenders. Tiger Racing also in P4. Skyward Atlas in P5. Kermit in P6. Great start for the Renault driver. Mech Senna down in P7. We know he's got some pace, so he could find himself coming up the field. Custom in P8. Ozone Camara in P9. We know he's got some decent pace too. Lap God in P10. Nice job there. Striffium in P11 with that fresh tire choice. New Zealand Jeb in P12. And Eduardo Andretti getting disqualified from this session, unfortunately. We're going to go ahead and pull up our driver standings now so we can just see exactly what's going on. So as you can see, we've got a hefty battle for P3. So we got Hoist, who's not here at the moment. So if Tiger and Kamara can get some points, they can easily make that jump. Those two together. Tiger in a solid spot in P4 on the grid now, hoping to jump up as well. Custom, of course, definitely contention there. There's barely any separation. Racer 33 starting in P3 definitely has the opportunity to make up some points and snag that P3 as well. Only my D not here for this race, unfortunately, so he'll stay the same, if not lower. Kermit starting P6, looking to hop up there as well. Mexena starting down the order as well. And then Striffium, not shown, is P11 with, I believe, 68 points. So very, very close battle for P3 as we cruise along for our formation lap at the moment. But take a look, memorize that point standings now. We'll be right back with a short break as our drivers make their way around the formation lap. So again, as you can see, very close battle for P3. Unfortunately, I do not have a permutations calculator to show where everyone's at in the standings live because I don't get paid for this. I don't have enough time, but we can try and guess. We'll have that up on the side as well so we can see just exactly what driver is where in the standings. But for now, it's looking pretty good for race 33 there. Looking to jump Tiger Racing. Tiger Racing, of course, pretty solid throughout his races and very consistent. So we'll see exactly what he can do. But for now, as the sun sets here in Abu Dhabi, the drivers will line up for the grid one last time. Here we go. 5 red lights are on, and they're underway as we see Stealth getting a great start there. Here comes Henners, though, up the inside perhaps, as they're side by side into turn 1. Henners doing a good job here as they're coming through the pack. Pushes Stealth off wide as Stealth runs wide now. This allows race 33 to possibly have them move. Skyward Atlas up into P5, dropping down now, losing 3 positions. Kermit up the inside loses his wing plate. That's going to be terrible for his P3 chances. Skyward Atlas running wide now. We've got 3 wide. Looks like Mexena has spun out in the background. They're 3 wide through the hairpin. Everyone in the top 4 away cleanly, but there's chaos behind them as we see plenty of drivers running wide. Looks like Skyward Atlas going up with Ozone Camares. Let's get that slipstream from the Renault of Kermit. Here he comes. Kermit looking to the inside of Custom as they go 3 wide now almost. Kermit getting that move, goes very deep, holds back Custom. A lot of contact here as we see in the beginning. Looks like Skyward Atlas stays in P7 at the moment. He'll tuck in behind Custom. Kermit has wing damage, but it's pulling ahead pretty well. Custom looks to cover the inside. I'll have to back off though. Skyward Atlas round the outside he goes as Custom locks up, cuts the corner there. Surely he has a warning. Meanwhile, Stealth and Henners and race 33 going at it for the top 3. There's been a gap formed at the moment. Looks like everyone away cleanly though, apart from Kermit's wing damage. He seems to be doing a decent job though, sticking in P5. As there's a yellow flag. Seems Jeb may have spun. Oh my goodness, as Custom has retired from the session. Not sure what happened there. There was a collision. Virtual safety car. They're gone round. Their hopes at P3 could be over. Unfortunate for Custom, as his indeed are. He looks like he tapped the wall there as we were riding along. Didn't even see his wheel come off. And he has retired from this race. So there is a VSC, surprising, as Triffium has decided to pit. He'll be taking what seems to be a 5-second time penalty, possibly for colliding with Custom. There's a big pile up there, unfortunately. And unfortunately, it looks like Kermit was already past the pit lane, so he couldn't change his wing under that VSC. He'll look to stay out, though, as Mexena is now up into P6. Plenty of drivers pitting now who did get that wing damage, as well as Camara, whose championship hopes are looking slim for P3. Meanwhile, race 33, as it were green flag now, staying behind Stealth now, looking very comfortable, but Tiger Racing hasn't dropped back too far yet. Kermit only 1.2 seconds back from Tiger Racing, so we'll see how this race plays out. Of course, safety cars are a huge factor, and anything can happen in the next 26 laps. Still plenty of race to go, but so far, Henner's reclaiming that first place just off the start and staying there at the moment, so he's doing a good job so far. Eduardo Andretti opting for those mediums. He's looking pretty good as well. All race 33 has to do is keep it together, and P3 should be his. We take another look at those standings. But currently Tiger Racing will snag P3 because he's in P4. So Tiger Racing has to drop down the order, or race 33 has to gain a couple spots in order to make that happen. Kermit, of course, will jump up at least 1 or 2 positions in his current form. So plenty can happen at the moment. Meanwhile, Henner's pulling a 1.6 second gap on Stealth at the moment. So he's looking very good. He's certainly cruising along. Don't have intervals on this section of the track, but it looks like Skyward Atlas is looking to make his way back up through the field after that early pit. Meanwhile, our field quite spread out. We have Mexena right on the back of Kermit. Mexena, we know, has got very decent pace indeed. So he has the Renault in his sights. Will not make a move this time around. Goes brakes very late there, much later than Kermit. Of course, Kermit still has that end plate wing damage, so he's doing a good job of keeping that pace up, but Mexena very, very close to him now. Looks to make the move. As Kermit stays very wide, going off in the dirt a little bit there, as you can see. Here comes Mexena up the inside by millimeters, edging out Kermit. Mexena gets a 3-second time penalty for quarter cutting. Time penalties very crucial here, we know, as we've seen in our previous divisions. Kermit losing out there. You could see his end plate still gone, so he's doing a good job. There's a yellow flag. Everything looks to be okay at the moment. Ozone Camara coming to the outside now. Skyward Atlas, as they're battling for P11, trying to make their way back up the field. Looks like Mexena is right on the back of Tiger Racing. Not sure what happened to Tiger Racing. He looks to be diving into the pits. Oh, that's awful for Tiger Racing, as he may have to pit for a new wing. Meanwhile, with Sky and Camara, they're going side by side. Camara getting ahead. Tiger opting for those mediums now. Here comes Sky on the outside, looking for a switchback. Camara doing a good job of placing his car in the right place at the right time. Meanwhile, Mexena losing out to Kermit again from that incident earlier with Tiger Racing, I believe. But Senna is going to have that DRS now that it's enabled. Will cruise right on by the Renault driver. Next time around, Kermit will have the DRS though, as the detection zone is right here. But again, he does not have that front wing, so he won't have the grip. Kermit's pace today looking very great, as we have race at 33 right on the back of Stealth. He still got DRS. Fortunately, Stealth is out of DRS range from Henner's. Kermit unable to close that gap on Senna. But meanwhile, we've still got the battle for P11 as they're trying to make their way up the field. Skyward Atlas will have a DRS, but he's a bit far back now, and unfortunately won't get the move done. Camara getting a good exit there. Skyward Atlas not looking to have the pace at the moment. It looks to the inside to try and put Camara off his line. It's a nice exit through the corner there. Looks like Skyward Atlas could be running a higher wing as he's got him in the corners, but Camara seems to stay ahead on the straights. Could be completely up to Racecraft though, we never know. Stealth now, within a second from Henners, but unfortunately too far back for DRS still due to the detection zone. Surely he'll have it here though, as Racer 33 has dropped out of detection. Tiger Racing right on the back of Striffium. They're going at it now. We'll see what happens. They're side by side into this fast left-hander. Striffium staying ahead, but here comes Tiger Racing up the inside into the hairpin. Striffium staying wide now, looking for a better exit. He sure does. We'll see who gets the DRS. Not entirely sure who got it. Striffium does have it. Custom has left the session now. Striffium pulling away with that DRS. Tiger Racing will get it back this time. Solid defense there from Striffium on the exit through the hairpin. Very deep though he goes. Striffium placing his car in the right spot though. The Tiger Racing will have a great exit here with the help of DRS as well, and should cruise on by Striffium. The power of that McLaren though, not too shabby. It just doesn't give up. Tiger Racing up the inside, gets that move done nice and easy. Jeb gets a 3-second time penalty. Here comes Striffium up the inside. He's not given up yet. Gets that move. They're still side by side going into the double right-hander. Tiger is ahead. Here goes Striffium round the outside of Tiger. What a move there to get that position back. Great racing from the McLaren driver. Tiger Racing not looking to get into any incident today, as he's having trouble to pass Striffium on those soft tires with his fresh mediums. Looks like Lapgod has indeed decided to pit. No safety car yet, which we've seen plenty of times in our previous divisions. So we'll see just how it pans out. Looks like Tiger's looking for a move, but he's not going to make it. Oh, as Striffium goes wide, but here comes Tiger. They're going to go side by side yet again. They're racing all around as Striffium will back off, concede the position, and Tiger has the position up into P8 now. Striffium will have the DRS this next time around, but we'll watch. It looks like Skyward Atlas has made the move on Camara and pulled away slightly now. Striffium has the DRS, but seems to be very far back. Doesn't have a whole lot of ERS there. He's in overtake mode, trying to catch him now. As we see, drops it back down to 0. Save some battery here in the chicane before deploying it yet again. Kermit staying inside to shorten that distance from turn to turn. Camara getting offline to try and break that draft. Looks like Henners has decided to pit, so Stealth inherits the lead after 7 laps. Henners will most likely be changing to mediums there. As we can see the Williams pit crew doing what they do best, getting that Williams car back out on track as soon as possible. Maxena up into P3 now after all of this. Race 33 up into P2. So as it stands, Race 33 will inherit P3 in the Drivers' Championship, with Maxena jumping up to possibly P6, P5, or P4. So all to play for still. Plenty can happen. As Kermit's going with Henners on those fresh mediums, blown on by, gets that DRS as well. He's not wasting any time, not trying to lose any time to Stealth. As we'll see if the undercut or overcut can work for Stealth, as Henners runs into a bit of traffic here. Kermit still has that DRS, so hopefully he can try and stay in the toe of Henners to pull him along. So we know Henners has that P1 pace. It seems like Jeb has disconnected, so we'll try and get him back in as soon as possible. Stealth now has decided to pit, so we'll see just where he comes out. He, of course, opts for softs, though. So very different from Henners now, as Henners cruises around the final corner. Stealth, though, under the bridge. Seems to have lost out a lot of time there. Overcut did not work. Henners is now almost 5 seconds ahead. As Kermit has come into the pits, he'll get that wing change, so he'll be more up to speed now. Racer 33 inheriting that lead, out there praying for a safety car. As many drivers have decided to pit. Everyone but Eduardo Andretti, Racer 33, and Maxena have pit. Henners, though, right on the backs of Maxena, prepping himself for a great exit here. Almost gets by him already by the DRS zone. We'll see if Maxena can hold on and try and battle the leader here. Henners cruising on by at the moment as they come into the hard braking zone. Senna backs off. Henners will get that position back up into P2. 12 seconds down now from Racer 33, who has yet to pit. See if we can invite Jeb. If he's able to get back in. Nice and easy there. As Senna has decided to pit. Henners hits the fastest lap of the race. Race 33 has pit as well. Skyward Atlas and Ozone Chimera going at it, though. We'll see where Race 33 comes out in regards to Tiger Racing. Surely he'll be way ahead. He is indeed. So he's sitting comfortably. Tiger Racing. It's going to be in a net P5 at the moment because, of course, Eduardo has yet to pit as well. The final driver on track who has yet to pit on those mediums up into P4 now. You can see that Haas gleaming, glistening under the lights as the sun has fully set here in Abu Dhabi. Not too bad of a livery, in my opinion. Skyward Atlas and Ozone Chimera have been trading places here. Looks like they're trying to make their way back up the field. Oh, as Chimera has spun! So you got it just as he spun out there. Looks like he doesn't have any detrimental wing damage, but he's spun and lost that position to Skyward Atlas and Lap God as well. He's on those old soft tires as they had to pit early for wing damage early on. Meanwhile, Henner is 4 seconds ahead of Stealth. Big gap between all of our drivers at the top now. Skyward Atlas up into P8 as Henners gets a 3-second time penalty, which will be crucial there at the end. I don't know if Stealth or Racer 33 has one yet, but as long as they can stay clean, they should be in the clear. We're going to try and pull up our standings here, so you guys can get a sneak peek at what's going on. So right now, Eduardo Andretti has gotten passed by Maxena. Maxena on the move now, only 13 seconds back from P3 after starting down the field. Eduardo Andretti dropping back. as Camara picks up a 3-second time penalty, unfortunately. As Eduardo Andretti decides to finally pit now on those 9-lap-old mediums. We'll see what tire he opts for here. As Tiger Racing now inherits P5, looking to make up time again that he lost for pitting earlier due to damaged wing, I believe. Out comes Eduardo Andretti. In P8, Sky and Camara now opting to pit for the mediums. We'll see if they can go all the way to the end. They should be able to at this rate. Striffium inherits P9, looking to pick up 2 points and hop into the top 10. Right now, it's looking good for him as he's sitting P11, although Max Senna surely will improve. Yellow flag in Sector 2 as Jeb has retired from the session, unfortunately. Looks like he has spun in Sector 3. That is awful to see as he was looking to finish his last race on F1 2019 in style. Unfortunately, the Racing Point has retired. There's a virtual safety car. You hate to see it, folks, unfortunately. BSC still going on. Jeb unfortunately not having the greatest of seasons, but he came out every time and tried his best. We love to see it. Striffium, meanwhile, right on the back of Eduardo Andretti. So I guess the AI crashed for Jeb. I'm not entirely sure how they did that. That's impressive on their part. Meanwhile, Striffium, though, with this green flag going yet again, right on the back of Eduardo Andretti, looking to pick up another point or 2. Sorry, 8th place gets 4 points, so that could definitely improve his chances. And of course, we have our ups and downs in league racing. That's just the way it goes. I know I've never certainly had a particularly clean season throughout. Always some mishaps here and there. As Striffium's right on the back of Eduardo now. Has the DRS. Gets a solid exit there. Surely he has the move done. Eduardo breaking off the line, going almost on a different route on the karting track over there. Here comes it. Striffium up the inside of Eduardo. Eduardo going way off the track there. Seems almost getting out the way. Eduardo backing off now. Dr. Pepper has retired from the session in Sector 2. Not entirely sure where. Seems to be a yellow flag at the moment. Meanwhile, Hender's only 4 seconds ahead from Stealth. Stealth, of course, on those soft tires, so he's opting for a different strategy to Henner, so he should be closing in, theoretically, with those softer tires. Eduardo's not giving up too easily here with Striffium. He's still within DRS range. Within 4/10 now. Jeb has left the session now. He is over it. Season ended on a bang, unfortunately, from the AI. What's happening? But here comes Eduardo Andretti with some solid pace here on Striffium. Goes up the inside there, back and forth. Don't count out Sky as he's right behind him as well. Striffium backing off, looking to get a better exit. Eduardo goes very deep here. Shifting with a great exit. Could we see a double overtake from Skyward Atlas as he's right on the back of them now with DRS. Plenty of ERS. Here he comes now as they go 3 wide down the back straight. Skyward Atlas up the inside of Strifium. They're going side by side now. Skyward Atlas will bang wheels now, almost loses it. Strifium having to back off, and Skyward Atlas gets the double overtake. What a move there by the Alfa Romeo driver. No time to waste here as he's looking to pull away from Ozone Chimera. Up into P8 now. Strifium going very deep there, trying to stay with Skyward. A solid battle for P9 going on at the moment. Strifium seems to be pulling away slightly now. They both missed that apex very deep on the final corner. Skyward Atlas now on the move to try and catch Lap God. We're halfway through this race. Only 2 to 3 VSCs, no real safety car. Henners has been very commanding off the start here, making that dive into turn 1. Race 33 with a 3-second time penalty. That's going to be crucial to him here in the end of this race and for his championship hopes. I'm going to try and move this down so we get a better look at the map as we see the drivers now. Cruising along, looks like Strifium's well ahead. Fortunately, you can see less of the map that way. But, oh well, here it comes. Eduardo Andretti. Around the outside he goes on Strifium. Into the chicane. Eduardo goes round, gets the move done it seems. And these guys have been going back and forth for the past few laps now. Battling for that P9 position. They're 4 seconds back now from Skyward Atlas. All this battling has had them lose time to P8. Meanwhile, as we see Stealth's interval to Henners there in P1 slowly closing, the gap is now down to 2 seconds. And it started at 5 at once we had those pit stops, so Stealth surely on the move now. Strifium able to stay within DRS range here as we go through the detection zone into the hairpin now. Kermit seems to be closing in a bit on Tiger Racing now. We get a lovely shot here of absolutely nothing. Ooh, nice little DRS flap open. Love to see it. Strifium a bit too far back though. As Stealth gets a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. That is his race hopes possibly over. We'll see. He'll be opting for the mediums now as race 33 inherits P2. That could help him out with that penalty greatly. Looks like the Mercedes teammate of Max Senna could be coming out as Strifium goes deep there. Eduardo Andretti holding that position. We'll see where the Mercedes teammates rejoin. Looks like Stealth will be just behind his teammate. Meanwhile, we still got Strifium falling back a little bit now to Eduardo Andretti. Kermit slowly closing in on Tiger Racing as we can see here. Just out of DRS range this time round. We could see him close the gap here on this straight. Seems to be running a bit less wing as he's lost a couple tenths just on the straight alone from Tiger Racing. There's a yellow flag in sector 2 as Chimera has retired from the session. Surely that's a safety car. Maybe we'll see another VSC yet again. So Chimera, and you can see on the map there in those S's in the first sector, Fortunately losing it, and this will allow Henners to pit at a perfect time and extend his lead. This will help race 33 out as well. We'll see if the VSC stays live as he dives into the pits now. He's going to stay out, cut the corner. Doesn't get a penalty. And we'll stay out as Henners decides to pit. We'll see if race 33 decides to go all the way to the end. This could be a move for him if he stays on those mediums. But Henners getting a great advantage there, well ahead of his current rival, Stealth, in that Mercedes. Stealth closing in on Max Senna now as Tiger Racing has decided to pit. Skyward Atlas has retired from the session. As we see, he went too deep in the double right-hander all by himself. There's another yellow flag. Looks like the track is clear though. We're down to 9 drivers, so everyone's scoring points today. As long as they finish 90% of the race, we'll see. No VSC or safety car for that incident. So we are racing now. Strifium up to P8 now. Looks like Stealth and Max Senna going at it. The teammates back and forth. Max Senna getting a solid exit here. He could have the move back with that DRS as well. As he cruises along, Mercedes going at it. Toto Wolff slamming his fist down on the desk surely from this battling, slowing each other down. Max Senna will get ahead around the outside. Amazing move there from him. He's not taking any team orders at the moment. He's on it, in it to win it for himself. Stealth getting held up even more now. Henner's pulling away 7 seconds from these guys. Max Senna possibly having to pit again. We'll probably see him do it, although he could stretch it if he wanted. He is just holding up his teammate now. You see the lovely sunset there. It seems like this entire race is during the sunset. You just got that pink sky. Stealth, though, right behind his teammate. Goes very deep in the hairpin to get a solid exit here. He's got so much ERS right on the back of Max Senna. Surely he'll be able to just blow right by him on this straight. As Kermit gets a 3-second time penalty for quarter cutting there. Stealth pulls up ahead. Goes very deep though. Max Senna looking to get the better exit yet again. Stealth looking to get a great exit too though. May have it done this time around. We'll see if Max Senna can cruise up alongside of him. Looks like he will not be able to as Stealth stays ahead. Max Senna isn't out of the park just yet, as he's still within DRS range. Strifium right on the back of Eduardo Andretti now. As Henner sets the fastest lap of the race, he's cruising in on the back of race 33 now. Strifium has that DRS, plenty of battery to spare. Cruise along the second back straight. We'll see if he tries to make some kind of move. Terrible angle here. Looks like he may have damaged his wing. We'll see there as this angle is still on the terrible. Yes, he has. He's lost his front left end plate. Unfortunately. You hate to see it. He's in P8 at the moment. He'll have to box one more time now. It seems he should be going for softs. He had to box soon anyways if he was on the 2-stop strategy. Sky is out of the session now. Lap God down to P9 after pitting. Strifium will be pitting now. And Henners is right on the back of race 33. Looking to make the move anytime soon now. Henner's possibly looking to make the move now into the final couple corners. He waits patiently. No, he knows he has the pace and the grip. He's right behind race 33. Onto the front straight now. He may hang on for DRS zone. As Stealth is the fastest lap of the race, so he's now closing in as Henner's is getting held up from race 33. You know, Stealth does have that 5-second time penalty he got for speeding the pit lane. She may have served on his previous pit stop, not entirely sure. Henner surely has the move now as he's right on the back and will have the help of that DRS. Race 33 going defensive there on the inside. We'll see who gets the better exit here. Looks like Henner's gets the move nice and done early on. Kermit has decided to pit now. He'll drop down to P6 at the moment. Henner's off into the distance now. Secures that P1. As Eduardo gets another 3-second time penalty. Race 33 just got to keep it clean now. Not get any more penalties, and he should be comfortable. He could decide to go the distance though on these mediums. He's got a 7-second gap, and a comfortable lead on Max Senna. His best bet may be to stay out on these mediums depending on how quickly they go off. We could see him dive into the pits right now though. He'll stay out, so he looks like he should be going to the end. Otherwise, he should have pitted for softs by now. Out of DRS range now, though, unfortunately. As Max Senna has now decided to pit, so this will help out Tiger Racing. And this will help out race 33 as well. So race 33 does have the option to pit now and be safe, but if he wants to try and possibly hold that P2, he could stay out. Could be a better bet. Right now, Tiger, currently in great position. My math isn't fast enough to calculate whether race 33 or Tiger are high enough in, higher in the standings. If anyone in chat wants to go ahead and do that math for me. You got the settings there on your screen. Race 33 coming home with 18 points and Tiger Racing coming home with 10. So it looks like, yeah, race 33 will have that P3 position quite easily if all things stay the same at the moment. But of course, he's on 12-lap old mediums and Stealth is cruising along, catching up to him now. We'll see if he can hold that position. If he does drop down to P3, and Tiger Racing P5, he still should have that position by just 1 point. So it's going to be awfully close here for P3. Right now, Tiger Racing and Race 33, the ones currently in contention for P3 in the Drivers' Championship. Kermit down there looking to jump a few spots with this P6. Max Senna down there as well, jumping up a few spots if he can keep this P4. Race 33 with 6 laps to go. Surely he'll stay out on these mediums, but we'll see just how long he can last and see if he can hold off the charging Stealth. Jeb doing some quick math there in the chat. Appreciate it. Max Senna looking to jump Kermit here in the standings, but of course Kermit has the possibility of jumping only Use My Dad and possibly Custom if he can make some moves. If he all stays the same, Kermit will stay behind Custom, but he could jump up to P8 from P9 at the moment. if he somehow sets the fastest lap of the race and stays P6, he could definitely try and snag P7 as well in the Drivers' Championship. Although if they're tied, Custom should have the advantage on performance throughout the season. I believe Custom has a win or two. But of course, we do have stewards' inquiries and time penalties can be applied post-race. So that will definitely play a factor, given any incidents so far. And unfortunately, since Skyward Atlas did not finish 90% or more of the race, but finished in the points technically, he still will not receive his points. Max Senna set the fastest lap of the race, so he's going to get an extra point. That could definitely help him out as well. He's in P4. Stealth now. You can see just beneath the rear wing there of Race 33. He is on the move. There's 5 laps left. Stealth is doing his thing, creeping up on Race 33. As Tama, the drum company, has joined, one of our main sponsors. Just kidding. I wish that were true. There's a yellow flag now. Who has binned it? Looks like no one has binned it. We're all good. Meanwhile, Henner's comfortably in the lead. This Tama has decided not to sponsor us, and they have left the session. Stealth right there now, as we can see. He's got that grip. Oh, as there's a lot of oversteer for there from Race 33. He could use this time to pit and maybe opt for that fastest lap to gain an extra point, as he will probably lose this position. We'll see what he decides to do. He does pit. Could be a wise decision from him there in order to maximize his point gain from this race. We'll see where he comes out, though, in relation to Max Senna. Comes Max Senna around the final couple corners here. You see Racer 33 on his way out of the pit box already. Looks like Race 33 will have that nice and easy at the moment. Well ahead. We'll see if Max Senna has the pace to try and close that gap. I know both these drivers have at least 2 time penalties. At the moment, you could see Race 33 in his sights, but unfortunately just too far back at the moment. 4 laps left in this Grand Prix. Henner is doing a good job commanding this race right from the start. You can see our gains so far. We'll have to see who our driver of the day is. Eduardo Andretti up into the points, though. Looking good. Struggles every now and then, but he's looking pretty sauce so far. Max Senna, of course, doing well. Henner's getting that jump on the start. Could really go to anyone at the moment, but Stealth for his debut race, not doing too shabby at all. We'll see if Racer 33 can put in a banger of a lap. He's saved all his ERS. He's ready to go. He knows now is the time to snag that extra point. Comes out of the final corner in 4th gear. Cruising along. We'll see what kind of time he can put up. Throw up his lap data. As we're now in quali mode, you can see his best time is a 140.0. And he'll need, let's see. I can't see because Cody's made it the worst possible cut, 138.2, so he'll need 1.8 seconds to gain here as he cruises along the back straight. Entire season leading up to this hot lap now, as he keeps it nice and steady there. It's looking good so far for him. Unfortunately, no DRS, but he'll keep the pedal to the metal as he cruises on down. We'll see if he can keep it purple. He's 1.4 seconds quicker than his previous best. He needs another 4/10 in this final sector if he wants to snag that fastest lap. We'll see if he can do it. Little shaky there on that exit. Keeps it down coming into the final sector. Nice and tidy there so far, though. A little bit wide on that apex. Keeps it wide off track here. Nice and easy through. We can see that he is charging as fast as he can for this hot lap. Keeps it on track there. No invalidation. Down to 4th gear. Out of the final corner. Can he set the fastest lap of the race? He does by a good second with a 137.3. So he gained a full 1.5 seconds there in the final sector. Outstanding lap by him, so he'll have that extra point as it stands. We, of course, have 2 laps left to go, so we could see someone pit right now and go for that fastest lap on the final lap of the race. We will see, though. So right now, Stealth is in P2 with a substantial gap, so he could opt to go for it and ruin the championship hopes. Race 33 is looking very solid at the moment in P3. All he has to do now is cruise to victory. Senna's 7 seconds back. We can go ahead and take a look at our race leader. Henner is in P1, secured P2 in the championship quite easily this season. Of course, we had many driver changes. It's been quite a silly season for our first season in PPR. But of course, we'll have a more standard, even championship, although the fight for P3 is outstanding so far. Stealth doing a great job on his debut as he starts his 27th lap. A nice gold helmet there. Hope to see much more of him in the future next season for Season 2 on the F1 2020 game. Oh, as Stealth goes wide, almost damages the floor there. Of course, you can't get damage from floor here. Gets another 3-second time penalty, so that could benefit race 33. So we may see him hop up a couple more places. Not sure how many time penalties he has, but it looks like race 33 is still cruising pretty quick here. He's coming on the back of Striffium, who is a lap down now. So as it stands, race 33 will inherit P3 in the championship. Max Senna will gain 12 points from this race. That'll put him up to, seems to be P6 in the championship. Or P7. This order is going to get very mixed up here right at the very end. So we'll see just what happens. Gap pretty even now between race 33 and Stealth. Must be taking it easy as Henners is now on the final lap of the season for PC Division 2. On those 11-lap old mediums. As he rounds the hairpin for the final time. Done a tremendous job at the end of the season here. Shown up to basically every single race. Qualified well most of the time. And has finished fairly high up. A well-deserved P2 in the championship for him. As the fans are cheering him on. Around the final sector now. So he's taking it nice and easy. He knows he has the gap. He knows he has the time penalties advantage on Stealth. In the harbor now. You can see all the yachts. Into the final couple corners he comes. Claire Williams ecstatic with a P2 in the Drivers' Championship. Around the final corner now. Henners comes up to the line as the fireworks go. He's won the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix and secured P2 in the championship. Well done to him. Awesome drive. Stellar debut here for PPR. Gets P2. Race 33 coming up behind in P3. Setting the fastest lap of the race as well. Rounds the final corner. Well ahead of Mexena. Comes across the line and gets P3, and that'll secure him P3 in the Drivers' Championship. Great drive there. Comeback drive from him. He's had a few low races here at the end of the season, but managed to get it done as left the session immediately. No time for podiums. Mexena in P4. That'll jump him up 1 or 2 spots in the drivers' standings. Tiger Racing as well in P5. That will jump him up to P4, I believe, now. Race 33 in P3. Tiger in P4. Kermit coming across the line in P6, which will put him up into, I believe, P9 now. Shifim getting 2 points there at the end. So that'll put him still in P11. Unfortunately, didn't make it into the top 10. We have Lapgod, our reserve driver, coming around the final corner to round off the grid. But there you have it. Henners is your race winner for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. We'll go ahead, hide the standings as those don't matter anymore. Your final podium of F1 2019 for PC Division 2. Williams on the top step, a sight we've seen before, and a sight I'm sure we'll see in the future. Everyone on the podium very happy, I'm sure, as Henners gets the win. Stealth gets P2 on his debut, and race 33 gets P3 in the Drivers' Championship. It's along with a podium for his last race on F1 2019. Well deserved there from him. Of course, yeah, we see race 33 in the chat now, unsure of whether he got P3 or not, but he did indeed. There were so many permutations for this race. But in the end, race 33 got it done. Finished high enough and ahead of enough people to secure P3. Henners winning the race, though, by a decent margin there. Kept it clean. Awesome drive by him. I think my driver today has to go to race 33, securing that P3 after a long drought of points there. Getting that fastest lap, too, to secure it as well. There you have it, folks. We're going to try and get our interviews sorted now as we throw up our interview graphic. Get our podium finishers in. But a pretty solid season throughout. Drivers did a great job of showing up every week, giving us a great show. I've had a blast commentating them. Did an absolute great job. Congrats to BZFU, of course, who couldn't make this race tonight. Gutted he wasn't able to celebrate his Drivers' Championship with a nice victory race around Abu Dhabi. But alas, congrats to him. As now we're going to be joined by our P1 finisher, Henners.
Oh,
as we have him now in the commentary booth. How was your race, man? That start was great, and after that, you kind of just blew the rest of the field away. How was that race for you?
yeah, it was good, thank you. I pulled away from, I think it's Stealth on the start. But yeah, apart from that, it was a pretty straightforward race. I kept my pace up, which is always good for me.
Yeah.
I don't normally do it.
Kept it clean, out the wall, as opposed to some other drivers we saw this race, unfortunately. But yeah, you kind of had some solid pace there throughout and were able to pull away quite easily. So congrats on the win, man. Great way to finish out the season, and congrats on P2 in the championship.
Thank you very much.
And we hope to see you next season. Take it easy, mate.
Thank you. I will be.
All right.
It's a big lead.
And now we're joined by P2 finisher on his debut as a reserve driver, Stealth. How was that race for you, my man? Getting pole as well.
Yeah, that came out of nowhere. Third sector gained all the time. Man, uh, I
Uh,
messed up that first lap there at the beginning. Got a bunch of wheel spin, lost it.
Yeah, Henry seemed to have you right there into the first corner, but still a pretty outstanding race from you. You did a solid job keeping it clean, keeping it out the wall, and
Yes,
coming
sir.
home with P2, so solid points. We hope to see you next season as we start on the F1 2020 game.
I will do my best. Thank you
Hey,
very
man,
much.
congrats.
Mhm.
And now we're joined, of course, by Race 33, a long-awaited podium here. Secures P3 in the championship. First of all, congrats, man. Nice drive there.
Yep, thanks, man. Yeah. Hell of a
Does it
race. Yep,
does it feel good to be back on the podium now?
yeah, especially getting the P3 in the championship. So many permutation and combinations, and I was like, you know what? I might as well get the fastest lap just to make sure.
Yeah, we saw there. We were seeing if you were going to go on the mediums to the end to try and hold P2, but once it seemed that Stealth was easily going to take that position, definitely pitting for fresh softs or that fastest lap seemed to be the ideal strategy. And we rode along board with you that entire fast lap to make sure you got it, and you did. So nice job
Uh,
there. Quick
Awesome,
thinking.
man. Awesome. Yep.
So
The thing was, my video recording thing blocked out the lap count, so I didn't know what was happening, and I was gonna do a one stop, and my tires would go all the distance, but I saw Henderson still fitting, and I was like, what lap it is? I don't know. I tried to ask the engineer, he wouldn't tell me, and I didn't remember my button to go into cockpit view to see it, and you know what? I just did what Stealth and Henners were doing, and ended up being two stop. I think they both pitted under VSC, one of their stops, and they got lucky. I missed out, and yeah, but still happy with P3.
yeah, Henry's got a nice little VSC there. But yeah, man, you without knowing the lap count and pitting there at the right time, you I think you believe you already had P3 secured, but it was a nice safety net to get that fastest lap and a great way to cap it off with that podium. So well deserved. Congrats, man. You had a rough season, but we're able to come out right there in P3. So congratulations.
Yep, yep. Hopefully, can do better next season. Yep. See you next season, mate.
Hey, man, congrats, and we'll catch you on the new game next season.
Yep. Have a good night.
So there you have it, folks. Our podium finishers. What an amazing finish to the season. So many permutations in that final race, and was really unable to keep up with it until the very end, as we saw race 33 banged out the fastest lap, snagged that final step of the podium, and secures P3. Congrats to BTFU, who won the championship. Of course, couldn't be here, but he drove brilliantly all season long. Henner's in P2 as well, and congrats to all our drivers. We'll go ahead and sign off here. We of course have our D4 race this Friday and our PPR 12 Hours of Silverstone charity endurance race on ACC this Saturday, so stop by anytime, tune in. We're raising money for Huntington's disease, and that'll be a stellar race, so you can come by anytime, check it out, give us a like, maybe drop a few dollars. It'd be a great time. Anyways, we'll see you next time. Thanks for a great season, you guys. Signing off.